I'm delighted now that, as promised, my wonderful guest is here with me in the studio, Desiree Burch, and we're talking about your new tour, Desiree, the Golden Wrath Tour.
Thank you so much for having me here and playing some garbage, something from my era, my grungy. This is my what I grew up with. Yeah.
Oh, we were grunger.
Yes. Well, I mean, and it was funny because we're in Southern California where it never rains, and we're just like wearing black. It's super hot. We're wearing black, being super emo, lots of eyeliner, listening to grunt. Yep, totally. All these layers, just like, what are you preparing for? Everybody else was having a good time, and we're like, that's because you guys are all like hot, normie, like popular kids.
Oh, you see, this American perspective, it always seems so glamorous. It always seems so exciting. Because, Desiree, we've known each other for a long time through comedy, through stand-up. But I think you moved here permanently 10 years ago. Is that right?
Yes. I mean, I guess it's actually 11 now. Oh, so I moved here in 2014. I mean, I say permanently. It was all permanent, but I was temporarily here on visas for so much, going away and coming back, going away and coming back, because that's how I had to, until I could finally, stay. Yeah. But yes. So it's so funny now. I feel like one of the so bad to say. I feel like one of the people, like the immigrants who vote for Brexit. Now that all these new Americans are coming over, I'm like, these new ones are not like us. Okay, they assimilate. They keep making YouTube channels about how funny a meal deal is or something, and I'm like, just shut up and get in line. All right.
That's so funny. Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres. Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. Exactly. J.D. Vance. Keep it down a bit. All right. These people are polite. They like to whisper in hushed tones. When my best friend came to visit me after like maybe a year later, he's like, you got quiet. I'm like, no, we were always loud. We were always loud.
Do you think that's true? Because I do sometimes tune into an American, I've got some American friends.
Of course you tune into it. It's impossible. We're like 10 decibels louder than everything else constantly. So yeah, I think, look, we have a big country. Like even all the homes are big. If you want to find out if your brother's in the house, you have to be like, hey, is anyone home?
Never thought of it.
Literally
like
I can hear the cat flap from downstairs when I'm in the highest part of the room in my home. I can hear a cat come home because that's how quiet everything is.
That's very interesting. We are quite quiet, aren't we?
Yes.
I suppose in comparison. Yes, that's true. I'd not thought of that.
It's just so many people compressed into so little space that if you want any kind of semblance of individuality and privacy, you've got to be.
Yeah, I guess that's. I always say that about people in London in particular, particularly on the tube. People say, oh, everybody looks so stern, they look so serious. But I always say, well, actually, I think what people are doing there is they're just sort of shutting down as a politeness thing. So they go, well, I'll make myself as small as possible. And then you will hopefully do the same. And then we'll all have a bit more space communally, which I think is kind of strange.
But then it's like, how do you find the little aperture to go through? Because I find that maybe it's very American of me to want to do this, but I will often compliment a stranger if they're particularly attractive or where I'm just like, that's a great hat, or like, oh my gosh, your perfume is wonderful. And usually people think that you're about to cuss them out because you're like, excuse me, you're like trying to get their attention. They've got headphones on. You're looking in their eye and they're looking through you somehow. And you're like, hi, excuse me. Hi. Your perfume's, and they're like, what? And you're like, your perfume's really beautiful. Like, thank you.
Desiree, this is why we love you, because you provide this wonderful insight from where you stand. It is wonderful. We love the Americanness. We also love that you have such a wry look at us. So that's wonderful.
At all of us, I feel so foreign to everything, America and here. I'm just like, really? I'm a weird space alien. Well, but I'm starting to tip over a little bit into some Britishness.
I feel like you're very much. Yes. I think you're very much on our.
Yeah, although I'm bad at accents, and I've never wanted to sound like Madonna did when she was doing that. You know what I mean? It's kind of a little.
What would she talk like that for a bit? Yeah.
I was like, unless you can fully do it, I just feel like a poser a bit.
Look, we'll practice. I tell you what, we'll practice, and in the next song we'll have a go, and then after that, Desiree is gonna do her very own British accent. Thank you. That's Richard Ashcroft, loving you, with a lovely bit of guitar there you might recognise from another song. And also, Richard Ashcroft is opening for the last night of Oasis tonight at Wembley. Yes, if you're going to see that, have a lovely time.
I love how you said, like, tonight at Wembley. Like, it would actually fit anywhere else.
No, yes, I don't know what I was thinking. But
Tonight at Ronnie Scott's. Good looking in.
How true. How true. Yeah, but wouldn't that be a gig?
That would be so
acoustic.
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Or a little bit of Wonderwall.
Yeah, right? And it was just like, is that... No one would believe they were seeing Oasis.
Do you think it was a cover band?
Yeah, of course. You're just like, who are these? Keep going.
Yeah,
you guys have something.
Good. Yeah, where do we put the coins? Yes. I'm here with my friend Desiree Burch, and we're talking about, well, you've got your new tour, The Golden Wrath.
I do.
The Golden Wrath tour, which starts this Friday at Oxford's Glee Club. And I want to know, what are the main topics you're covering? Because with stand-up tours, people sometimes ask me this, and I go, well, it's about lots of things, about me and what my perspective is, but you've got something you want to talk about.
I mean, usually I feel like when you create a tour, it's kind of like, at some point you go, what is all of this stuff I've been talking about kind of coalescing around? And quite often during the tour, you're still figuring out. I mean, The Golden Wrath is very much about being a woman in my mid-40s who's, generally angry about everything, but like not. But a lot of that comes from, I will say this. So it is a lot of perimenopause, my friend. A lot of perimenopause. Because you don't realize the entire time you're growing up that there's a massive wall that you're about to go colliding into in the middle of your life where you just slide down like a broken runny egg and everyone's like, what's wrong? And you're like, literally everything on every level is wrong. Like, it is, there is a whole sort of adolescent, pubescent part of your life where you go into the time where you can make babies, and then going out of it is equally, if not more, just completely disruptive to your brain, to your body. And nobody says anything about it. You've never been told. And so you're just suffering in isolation until you realize that everyone your age is doing the same thing and is completely exhausted 90% of the time. And I feel like it's been wonderful touring this, to develop it and going to the Fringe and whatnot, because you get women who are like, oh my God, yes. And then you get men who are like, oh, I did not know any of this happened, and it's crazy that I don't know this because this is pretty major, and it helps me to understand my mom, my sister, my wife, my whoever. And you're like, yeah, like what they're going through is bonkers. Yeah. And if you could just put them like in bubble wrap in a quiet closet for a while with like a blanket and a couple books until they were maybe 60. I don't know. But anyway, so there's that. And then it's
isn't that what's so great about stand-up, I always think, is that it does bring people together who may not have realized that other people were feeling the same thing or going through the same experience.
And also all of us go through, if we're lucky enough to live through our 40s, we all go through that very psychically humbling part where you become so much more fully yourself. Like it's the radiance that's left when everything is taken from you. Like, just like your body and your memory and your just sense and your desire to even really be participating anymore.
Yes. I'm feeling it more and more. I don't know if I'm perimenopausal, but I do like sitting in the garden. I don't know if that's similar.
Right. I mean, well, look, women go through the like loss of hormone quite intensely, but all of us go through it. Like there are plenty of men who start taking testosterone because their testosterone levels are dropping, and suddenly they're like, "Let's make America great again." Because underneath it, they're like, "Let's make anything again," because they're trying to recapture something that is going, and they just want to find other like-minded men who want to recapture something that's gone.
That makes sense. When you put it like that.
Yeah, and then the women go out and like get arrested at protests because they realize that they're so angry at the establishment, usually starting with the medical establishment for denying the fact that they're going through what they're very much going through. And they realize that all the systems are set up against them. And they're like, you know what? Forget all of you guys. Like, we're out here. I don't care anymore. And that's when we enter our like hot crone phase, when we're just like, whatever. I don't care. Do whatever you want to me. I'm going to stand here. I'm going to scream until I'm heard. And that's
so needed in our age. And I think as well, friends of mine, I have a friend who has endometriosis, for example. Yeah. And as a condition, that's never talked about and often
when you hear
ignored
about it,
by
it's
the medical
mental.
establishment.
Like you're just like, oh, so your uterine, like, like flesh can grow anywhere in your body?
Right, yeah.
That's bonkers. Like, things that shouldn't be able to happen are just happening.
And has been for so long just like, women's problems is what it gets branded
You're just thinking about it too much. You're probably just sad.
Yeah, by men.
You're sad because you gained 15 pounds. You should probably go jog.
It's that, so I understand. Where this drive to write this show has come from. I think it's fabulous. I think it's very important. I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And I know you premiered it in Melbourne. We were both in Melbourne at the same time.
It was so exciting. Did you have a good time?
I loved it.
I'd never been before, and obviously it was one of those bucket list, because I'd never like. When you live in the United States, you hear about Edinburgh, you hear about Melbourne. There's these huge, big things that, like, suddenly when you're doing them, you're just like, oh, no, it's just a festival. But usually we don't give ourselves the credit for accomplishing the things that we're actually doing when we're doing them.
Yeah, sure.
And we probably should be like, remember when you were a younger you and this was a huge deal?
Yeah.
And you're doing it now?
Yeah,
like,
how true.
Right? Give yourself some little pat there.
That's so true. And I mean, that is often the way, isn't it, with writing a show, that we do put ourselves out there and go to Melbourne and Edinburgh just to get it together.
Yeah.
And I think, we forget that actually after that hard work, we end up with a show that hopefully,
people come up to you and like shake your shoulders like, this is so important. Thank you so much for saying this. You're like, yeah, whatever. And they're like, seriously, thank you. Like, it does matter.
For sure. Well, Desiree, I'm so thrilled for you. I'm so thrilled it's going so well. And this tour is going to be amazing. If you'd like to see Desiree Burch, the Golden Wrath Tour, she's going to be in Oxford, Reading, Canterbury, Norwich, Leicester, Bristol, London, Nottingham, Brighton, Hastings, Cambridge, Birmingham, Warwick, Liverpool, Cardiff, Belfast, Leeds, Sheffield, Salford, Glasgow, Newcastle, Colchester, and back to Edinburgh.
Yes,
so,
come find
Desiree,
me.
and where can people find tickets?
DesireeBurch.com. It's BURCH is the way it's spelled. You can go on my website and buy tickets to any of those shows now.
Wonderful. Desiree, thank you for being my guest today.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Virgin Radio.